Inside the narcissist's mind, a boundary isn't a healthy act. It's a personal attack on them. You say no more, and the narcissist hears, "You're not in my control anymore." You made a brave choice. You drew the line. You stood up and said, "This ends here." But instead of respect, you get silence or rage or sabotage. Let's talk about what's really happening after you set a boundary with a narcissist, because this is a moment when their mask begins to slip and the truth of who they are starts to come into focus. So let's get inside the narcissist's mind. To a narcissist, boundaries are betrayal. Inside their mind, your boundary doesn't register as healthy. It registers as rejection, as a loss of control. And for someone who needs power to feel secure, that loss feels so dangerous. Rather than respecting your limit, they see it as a threat. They feel exposed, inferior, and angry. And instead of working through that, they shift into damage control. But it's not about preserving the relationship. It's about preserving their dominance over the relationship. And that means one thing: they're going to make you pay for taking your power back. So what are their punishment tactics? Narcissists don't usually punish you outright. They hide it in plain sight. There are some common ways they retaliate. They might use stonewalling, where you set a boundary and suddenly they're gone, or no contact, no explanation, just silence. And of course, guilt tripping. They act hurt or betrayed. "I guess I'm just a terrible person, huh?" That's what they say. They want you to feel badly for protecting yourself. Smear campaign, that's so awful because they're telling others you're unstable, that you're dramatic and ungrateful. Sudden affection elsewhere. They love bomb someone else publicly to show you how easily you can be replaced. And you know they're going to play the victim. They flip the story so that you look like an aggressor. These are not just reactions, they are strategies designed to restore control by destabilizing you. So, what about your response? Because here's where it gets really confusing. Because you're a thoughtful person, you start to question yourself. Was I too harsh? Maybe I should have explained more. Maybe I should have backed off a little. The narcissist is counting on you doing that. They punish you just enough to get you to doubt your decision, to make the silence feel louder than the boundary you set. This is the pull of trauma bonding. You start chasing peace instead of standing in truth. So this is what I want you to know. If your boundary triggered retaliation, that is not a sign that you did something wrong. It's confirmation that you did something right. Have you thought about it that way before? You disrupted their control. You refused to play the role. You stopped managing their feelings at the expense of your own, and they don't know how to respond to that without using fear, guilt, or shame. So what happens after you set a boundary with the narcissist? You get a front row seat to who they really are. You see how little they respect your autonomy, how easily they replace love with leverage, if there was any love there to begin with, how deeply threatened they are by your strength. And yes, it's going to hurt, but it can also clarify everything for you, because when you stop accepting manipulation as love, you begin to reclaim your truth. You hold your boundary. It isn't cruelty, it's clarity, and it might be the turning point that sets you free. For those new to my podcast, I'm Kyle Hackley, attorney and author of Undercurrent, a story about Annie, a young woman who breaks free from her narcissistic marriage. You need to know Annie isn't just one person. Annie is anyone who has ever experienced narcissistic abuse. And Are You Annie is a space to hear you, to validate you, and to walk this healing journey with you. You are not alone here. And I want you to remember that you are stronger than you think. I want you to be tenacious and never give up on what's important to you. Thank you for staying on this journey with me, and I will see you next time. Thank you.